That way there's a place for me to cut the video. And we'll just go ahead and welcome everybody. So everybody, welcome to Get Your Groove On Part 1. So my name is Molly or Charlie, and I am the camp director and the program manager for the outdoors portion for all of Girl Scouts of New Mexico Trails. Thank you everyone for joining us. We're really excited. I'm doing this in partnership with Louisa Garcia. She is our entrepreneurship program manager. This was her wonderful idea. And then our guest is gonna be Laladee. And she's going to talk with you guys about what it means to be a woman entrepreneur and the business that she works in, a little bit of her background. Then we've got a little activity for you, the question and answer time, and then of course our dance party. So I will go ahead and turn it over to Laladee.
Hi girls, how are you? I think you're all muted, but you can give me a thumbs up, I guess, if you're doing good. So thanks for having me. It's really cool to be able to have an opportunity to chat with some of you and just share what I do. My guess is that some of you are interested in music in some capacity or another, in some way or another. And the cool thing about music is that there's a lot of different parts to what I do and what a lot of musicians do. And I just want to kind of give you a little bit of my story and some of the things that I've done. And I think sometimes when you think about a songwriter or singer, you just think of someone sitting in front of the microphone or on stage. But actually being an artist is something that you got to learn how to wear, how they say, a lot of hats in this business. So basically what that means is you got to learn how to do a lot of different things in order to get your music out into the world. And it's such a cool time to be alive because you have the internet that can help get your music out, which wasn't something that I had when I first started. And so when I first started, I actually started writing music when I was probably about 8 or 9 years old. And I didn't really know that I was writing songs so much. And actually the funny thing is the way that I write music is very similar to those first songs that I wrote as a little kid. And remember that I liked this one particular song, and I think it was like a certificate, an award I got in school, and I turned it around the back side of it, and I think I still have it. And I basically listened to the way that the girl was singing her song, and I kept the same melody, but I wrote my own words to it. And I wrote my own words to the music that was on the background. And it's so funny because I actually, to this day, do the exact same thing. I will take a song that has no music. Does anybody know what that's called? If you know what it is, unmute yourself and tell me what that is. A song that has no music or has no lyrics or no words to it. Lila?
Acapella.
So that's actually a song that just has no music and just has the lyrics. But a song that has no lyrics is called an instrumental because it's all just the instruments. So that's how I write music now. I'll take a song that doesn't have any lyrics at all, and I try to come up with my own melody to it. And so I'll share with you a little bit of how I write and give you some pointers, because we're gonna have a fun little exercise for you guys to try your hand at writing. So basically, I was writing these song lyrics, and then I had an uncle who would have parties at his house, and he had a big record collection. And I think he was just trying to keep me busy, but he said that I could play whatever I wanted, any song I wanted, as long as I kept the music going when he had a party. So I became a DJ at a really young age, probably about 10 years old. And I would play a song, and then while that song was playing, I would be looking through his albums and decide, oh, and I'm gonna play this song afterwards. And so as soon as that song was over, I would switch the records out and I would play the next song. And another thing that I used to do, which you guys really don't understand the struggle of this, but we used to have to listen to our songs just on the radio. There was no internet, there was no downloading songs. If you wanted to hear a particular song, you had to buy the record, okay? But I started making what we call mixtapes. And does anybody know what a cassette tape looks like? Have you guys seen a cassette tape before? Yeah? Some of you haven't. I should have had one out for you. Maybe somebody can pull up an image for me and put it up on the screen. But anyway, a mixtape, it was a little cassette and you would put it in your radio and you would sit all day long at the radio waiting for your favorite song to come on so that you could record it onto this little tape. And I would do that all day long. I would make these little cassettes of my friends' favorite songs. I'd wait for their song to come on and I'd record it. And as soon as it was over, I'd pause it and then I'd wait. Sometimes I'd call the radio station and I'd ask them to play a song so that they could hopefully play it sooner. And I'd make a whole entire tape of my friends' favorite songs and then I would give them away. It was like my favorite thing to do. It was like just so cool to have all your music on one place. So I was doing sort of what I do now, again, when I was a little kid. It was just something I really liked to do. And so Molly's putting up a picture of a cassette tape. Can you guys see that? It's a little, it might, yeah, if you can see that, it might spark a memory or something you've seen before. So I'm saying all that because I'm guessing that there's probably some things that you guys like to do that have to do with music. You probably either you like to dance or you like to sing along. Maybe you have a certain singer that you like. But these things kind of are things that as little kids we kind of become grown-ups, and sometimes those things are gifts, and they may not even be. It may not even be music. It may be something else like drawing or maybe like gymnastics or whatever the case is. It's whatever you're into, that's your gift. That's what you're good at. That's you like doing it. You do it for free. And so those are the kinds of things that when you're an adult help shape who you are. Maybe your career path. Maybe you're really good at math and you turn that into a career. My husband did. I am not good at math, but he's really, really good. And he made a really good career out of helping people. And so that's another thing that I really wanted to touch on is that, especially in the music business, I think a lot of people have an attitude that they're going to be a star and that they want to be that star no matter what it takes. And although being a hard worker and keeping pushing ahead is a beautiful trait to have, I really want to stress that in order to get to that place that I think success is, you have to do it with love. You have to do it being humble. Does anybody know what humble is? Can you raise your hand if you know what humble is? Leah? Can you unmute Leah?
I think what humble is like just being nice and open.
Yeah.
And it's just a lot of things with happiness, kindness, and
sure.
Yeah.
So that's an excellent answer. Thinking of others before thinking of yourself.
Yeah.
And I promise you, no matter what line of work you end up in, no matter what kind of business you end up in, if you have that attitude that always thinking of others first before yourself, always, that will get you further in life than you trying so hard to make your dreams happen no matter what and stepping on anybody that it takes to get there. You know, I really want to stress that because I feel like there's a really negative view of being a star, that you have to be that. And I'm here to tell you that I've gotten a lot further just by being love, by being sweet, by being thoughtful, by helping other people achieve their dreams as well. And so yeah, I'm going to tell you all that, and then I'm just going to my career really started when I was about 19 years old, and I learned how to DJ. And back then they didn't have again, music to download. You had to DJ with records, and you had to mix one record, one song into the next song without there being any kind of pause in the music. And you would play these long hour, 2 hour, 3 hour long, they call them a set of music for people to dance to. And so I loved that. It was my favorite thing to do, and I did it for a really long time. I've played for audiences, very small audiences, and I've played for very, very big audiences as well. And I've got to travel. I've traveled to and played in Chicago, and a little bit, I got to play in a small little venue in New York, in Denver. But I also, it brings me to another point. So I did that for quite some time, but I got to a point where my family needed me more than this career path would allow. And so a lot of my dreams got put on hold because I was taking care of my kids. I have 2 kids, and I also have a grandbaby. But my kids, when they were little, I had my son when I was really young, so he was kind of around while I was DJing. And it just got to a point where I really needed to take care of business at home. I need to take care of my kids. And so, you know, I just think as a woman, there's a big balance in that. And I think you can do both, but I definitely think that being a good mama to your kids, if you choose to have some, is probably, even if it costs you some time away from your career, I think it's probably the best thing in the long run. And I've gotten to a point where my kids are older, and so I'm starting to do a lot more with music. I DJ'd for a long time, and then I put that on pause, and I actually worked in a music studio. And in the music studio, I learned that I could sing, that I could write those songs. And it was all of this stuff that I had done when I was a little kid, and then I was kind of not sure that I was good enough. And it wasn't until I just started doing it, and I had a band I was working with, and they needed a singer, and so I just jumped right in, and I learned how to write songs right then, right there. And so I spent a long time doing that, and now I've come to a place where I not only sing and write, but I make the music behind my songs. And and then I DJ stuff. So what I'd like to do for you this evening is, after all, we take a few questions. I'm going to play a little bit of music, and I'm going to start off with a song that I've done with my vocals, and I'm going to go ahead and perform it live for you guys. And then you can watch me DJ each song into the next song for a little while. So I hope you guys enjoy that. Another thing that you guys are going to get to do yourselves is you're going to have a chance to rewrite a campfire song. And it is really cool that she decided to do this, because that's exactly how I wrote my first song. Like I told you, it was another melody. It was a song that I took and changed the lyrics, and that's exactly what you guys are going to do. So it makes it a little easier because you don't have to come up with a melody, but you get to just change it. So I'm going to give you a little bit of pointers on writing music. If you guys have a pen and paper handy, that would be great. I'm going to give you just a few.
And then I'll go ahead and type these, and then that way we can even post them to the Facebook group when we're done.
Okay, that'd be perfect.
But also, if you guys have pen and paper, write them down, because writing things down helps you memorize them.
Yes, totally.
I'm going to also mute myself because my keyboard is super loud.
And that actually, I actually said writing things down helps you memorize them. As a writer, as a songwriter, now I don't do this all the time, but it is an exercise that I have forced myself, because it's not something that comes natural, but I have forced myself to sort of a challenge. If you want to get better at songwriting, I would encourage you to say, all right, for the next 30 days, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to carve out either in the morning or the night, whenever you feel fresh, whenever you feel like you have a lot of energy and you're not sleepy. And just write. Don't worry about it rhyming. Don't worry about spelling. Don't worry about your penmanship, as long as you can read it. But just write whatever comes to your heart, whatever comes to your mind, and put a timer on. Say you're going to do, I'm going to write for 10 minutes today. And I guarantee you, the more and more after, give yourself 30 days, give yourself a month, you're going to start tapping into that part of your brain that learns how to flow ideas out. And then you can start putting structure into your songwriting. But I did want to encourage you guys, or even challenge you to do this songwriting, and it doesn't have to be a song. It can just be writing. And I think that's probably the best thing, because what are songs? They're stories. And so you're telling somebody a story. You're telling somebody something that happened to you, or it could be something you just made up in your head, something you wish would happen to you. That's the cool thing about songwriting, is that you can literally write about anything. It's like reading. It takes you to a place that doesn't really have restrictions on your life. Although I will say that most of my songs that have been the most impactful have come through times that were really hard for me. And that's another, just a little point I want to make for you guys, is sometimes writing a song can help us get through a really hard time. Things just aren't working out, or, you maybe wish you had a friend, a close friend, or maybe you feel like people don't really understand you. That's a beautiful and positive way to get your feelings out and do something great with them. So yeah, that was one point I definitely wanted to make with that. Does everybody have pen and paper? Are we good? Okay. So I told you about the writing once a day. I have a couple of tools that I use. Now, I don't know how computer savvy a lot of you are, and if you're not, I'm sure your parents can help you kind of get going on this. But sometimes I cheat a little bit. And by cheating, I mean that I don't always know what would rhyme with friendly or tomato or sunshine. Okay. And I think sometimes we go for like the rhymes that sound like, oh, you're so full of love, like someone from above. Like, you go with the thing that rhymes with it. But sometimes when you hear some of these songwriters and they have just like, how do they even think of that? Where did they even get that? Well, I'll tell you, most of them probably cheat. I don't think all of us have these words in our head. So what we do is we go to a thesaurus. And the thesaurus is, does anybody know what a thesaurus is before I blurt it out? Leslie, do you want to tell me? Oh, I think you got to unmute you.
Yeah.
There you go.
Thesaurus is where you search up, I've seen it in a book and also in a computer, but it's where you search up a word and it gives you other meanings for the same word, basically.
Absolutely. That's completely correct. And you can use a book, or you can get online. And one of the websites that I use is rhyme.com. And you get on rhyme.com and it'll give you a little box and it'll say, and you type in the word brat, and then you push search, and it'll give you all the words that rhyme with brat. And it'll give you some that are one syllable, brat, cat, sat. And then it'll give you some that are two syllables. What's a two-syllable word that rhymes with brat? See,
I was going to say attack, but I'm like, wait, no, that's wrong.
but that actually has the same sound, right? Has the same vowel sound. So that's what you call a B rhyme or a slant rhyme. So it almost rhymes. And it's something that's another tool I use, because everybody might go for cat and sat, but maybe I want to go something totally different. And all you got to do is find that vowel. So I know this is a little advanced, but it's something to think about. But that's a great tool, the thesaurus. I use it all the time. And so basically, the structure of a song would be in what we call a verse. This is a very basic one. A verse, a chorus, and then a verse. And then you probably have your chorus afterwards again. So if you want to write that down, a verse, a chorus, a verse, a chorus. So a chorus is what we call in the music business the hook. It's the thing that gets stuck in your head. You know, when you just can't stop in like, oops, I did it again. Like, you know, that's the part that gets stuck in your head, and you just can't, you don't even know what the rest of it says, but you just know that part. That's the hook. That's why they call it a hook, because it grabs you, right? So the chorus is usually sort of the point of the song. Now the verses are sort of the story of the point. So, okay, let's take that song. I don't know if you guys know that song from Britney Spears or not. Oops, I did it again. Looks like Lila's just jamming, like maybe she's got it in her head. So in the verse, she says, "Oh, baby, baby, how was I supposed to know that you'd misunderstand me?" Okay, so she's talking about being misunderstood, and this guy thinks that she likes him, and she's telling the story. And then the point is, oops, I did it again. I made someone fall in love. I played with your heart. I got lost in the game, right? So that is the whole, story of a song. It is that chorus, that hook is the point. It's the answer. It's the reason. And the verses tell the story. Now you can get a lot deeper with it. I mean, there's pre-choruses, there's bridges, there's other parts depending on how deep you get, but let's just start here for now. Let's just start with the verse and the chorus. So Molly, would you be so kind as to sing us a campfire song, maybe a short one, just to demonstrate verse, chorus, verse?
Okay.
I shouldn't have put you on the spot,
No,
but
okay. I was like, because I like most of the really, really short ones are just a verse without even having a chorus in them.
Oh, okay. See, so that's a song too. I mean,
did you want just one of those?
Or
do you want me? Oh,
yeah.
We have a request actually.
Donut song?
For the donut song. We can do the donut song real quick. Okay. So I walked around the corner and I walked around the block and I walked right into the donut shop and I picked up a donut and I licked off the grease. And I handed the lady a 5-cent piece. Well, she looked at the nickel and she looked at me. She said, "This money is no good, you see. There's a hole in the middle I could see right through." I said, "There's a hole in my donut too. Thanks for the donut. So long."
I love it. So actually, that whole melody is another melody in another song. It's the same melody in another song as well, right?
Like that.
Right. So that's pretty cool. It makes it remember, like you remember it. But there's a song called "Turkey in the Straw," Okay, so I had little chickie and she wouldn't lay an egg. So I poured hot water up and down her leg. Oh, the little chickie cried and the little chickie begged. And the gosh darn chickie laid a hard-boiled egg. So see, it's the same melody. It was borrowed for another song. They changed the lyrics, which is exactly what we're going to do. So you guys understand this? You understand the exercise that we're going to have you guys do?
Everybody, if you guys understand, go ahead and give a thumbs up. And if you still have a question about what we're supposed to be doing, give a thumbs down. I'm in speaking view for some reason, so I'm like, I can't see everybody's thing.
We're totally going to take questions after. I'm actually pretty close to done because I think it'd be a good place for us to answer questions if people have some. So feel free to ask questions about the like songwriting tips or techniques, or maybe for us to clarify what the exercise is, or you can ask me questions about myself and what my career was, whatever you like.
If you have a question, make sure you raise your hand on the Zoom, or you can type it in the chat box and we'll read it out loud to Laladee, okay? Does anybody have a question? I have a question. What is your favorite song?
Oh,
I don't know.
that is really hard. That is really hard. So, you know, it's kind of hard for me because I grew up liking Madonna, and the Madonna that you guys know now is not my favorite. So when I was younger, I really liked Madonna, and probably my favorite song from her is a song called "Get Into the Groove." So that would probably that'd be a close winner, but it's really hard for me to narrow it down to one song. That's for sure. Anybody else?
Do you guys have questions? Oh, I see one over here. Let me unmute you. It won't let me unmute her, Molly.
Was it Autumn? Autumn, did you have a question?
No, it's over here. It might be over there as well, but I have Tanya's
Oh, Chloe?
girl. Chloe, there you go.
Chloe has one.
Go ahead, Chloe.
I think you have to unmute yourself, Chloe. It's the little blue box.
She's unmuted now. This one right here. Can you hear us, Chloe? Right here. Chloe, go ahead and ask your question, sweetheart. It's your turn.
Me? Yeah, did you have a question?
Oh, okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, you didn't. Okay, that's okay.
Over here in Tanya's box. What's Tanya's youngest daughter's name?
Zoe.
Zoe has a question.
Lorraine,
Yes.
what was your biggest career yet?
Ooh.
What the biggest thing that I've done in my career?
Yeah.
Question.
I would probably say I got to play at a festival in Chicago. It's been a long time, but I played at a festival in Chicago, and the festival itself had about 30,000 people. And I got booked twice to play that, 2 different years. And that
People.
as a lot of people. As a lot of people. So that's probably the biggest show I've ever done.
Oh.
Good question. Okay, Leslie.
What was your biggest inspiration?
Ooh, good question.
Again, I'd probably have to say Madonna was mostly growing up. I just really admired how, as a woman, she didn't let anything hold her back. She did something that we call a reinvention. She basically made herself into a different person every song, every album, and I loved that. It was like the ability to create yourself and your sound into something different was just really cool to me. So I would say probably she was my biggest inspiration growing up.
All right. Anybody else have some questions?
There were some questions submitted via the Eventbrite. I just remembered. I was
Okay.
trying to send it to you, but I can't find what I did with the file.
Okay.
But let me pull that up real quick and we can ask those questions. I downloaded it and it like disappeared.
Okay.
So from the registration that you guys did earlier, Nina or Jessica asked, how do you become a DJ?
Oh, it's a good question. So becoming a DJ is actually easy now. I mean, you can probably you would need to make mixes, and some of those setups are fairly cheap, like maybe like $250 you can get a real base model of something. If someone has like a definite question of what to buy, I can definitely send that information. And then you just start practicing. I actually didn't play my first show out to an audience until I had been practicing for 3 months. And I probably have never practiced so hard for something in my life. I didn't watch TV. I didn't go anywhere. I sat and practiced for maybe 6 hours a day, almost every day. It was pretty tough. But I loved it so much and I wanted to do it that TV seemed like a waste of time. Like hanging out with friends seemed like a waste of time. Like everything in me wanted this. So, you know, I would challenge you that anything that you're going to do, you have to have that kind of passion. You have to have that kind of drive where, especially as a kid, you don't have the responsibilities of children to take care of. Take advantage of having no responsibility like that and pursue your dream 100% while you can. Like I tell my daughters when she says, I'm bored. And I have no idea how you could be bored. You love playing music. You love singing. You could be, you know, she's taught herself ukulele. I didn't teach her. And she taught herself by sitting down and looking at YouTube videos and just practicing and practicing. After you practice for a really long time and you feel like you've actually gotten really good, record yourself and send your mixes to people that are DJs that you, even like me, I would be happy to listen to somebody's mix and give you advice on how to be better. And then you can get to a place where you can create an account on a lot of these internet sites like SoundCloud, and you can upload your mix on there and other people can listen to it. And so those are probably the beginning steps of being a DJ nowadays. And yeah, if you have serious questions how to go further with that, I'd be happy to answer that for anybody. Was there any other questions?
That's awesome. I think we are about ready to get our dance party started. Before we do that, don't leave till the end of the dance party. It's going to run about 30 minutes. And then Molly is going to give the directions for part 2 for the songwriting competition and the camp sing-along. So everybody break out your glow sticks and your party backgrounds, and we're going to let Laladee take it away.
Okay, so I'm just making sure. I thought I saw someone's hand go up. Are we good on questions? Nobody else had a question? We're good? Okay, give me just a second to set things up and I'll be right back.
While we're waiting, Molly, do you want to go over a little bit on the part 2?
Yeah, sure. So well, not really a heads up, like a reminder, there is a second part to this Get Your Groove On event. And so what it's going to be is it's going to be next Monday at the same time. And the main part of it is going to be a competition where you guys rewrite a camp song, whichever one you want. So you can use the same tune and you just change the words. Or if you really, really want to, you can make your own starting from scratch. And then you're going to record yourself performing the song, and you're going to post it to the event page. And then on Monday, we're going to have voting. And so we're going to see which video can get the most likes, and that person or the top 3 people will win a small prize. I'm sorry, the voting ends on Sunday. So you'll be able to vote and post your video from Tuesday, tomorrow, through Sunday, the 23rd. And then on Monday, we're going to have our virtual campfire sing-along, and we will sing the top 3 songs. And then we'll also sing some other camp songs. If you guys have a request to make on the Facebook page, there's a little link you can follow, and it'll take you to a survey, and you can tell us which song you want to hear. And it's just going to be like a campfire sing along like we would have at camp, since we won't be able to do that this summer. But I'm really excited to see what you guys, and it's open to people who are not on this video as well. And so we'll be sending that information out. Anybody who wants to rewrite a camp song can, and we'll be posting some recorded camp songs. So you guys, like, if you don't really remember the tune of something, or there's one that you want to hear, we'll be posting those throughout the week, so Tuesday through Friday. And then you post the video, like I said, to the event page, and you just let everybody that you know say, hey, go like my video, I want to win this prize. And also, if you guys haven't already, drink some water. Do you have a question, Leslie?
Well, I just have a comment.
Hmm?
I just made a connection because when my brother was younger, he actually was a kind of famous DJ at the time, and I don't know.
That's cool. Thank you for sharing.
I also wanted to let you guys know, as part of the package that they are giving away for the winner of the songwriting competition, I have some stickers to add to that of my own. So I don't know if you can see these. I have a really good friend of mine who is an artist, and he likes to draw me. And I had some stickers and some buttons, and probably a t-shirt if they're cool with that. But I wanted to throw that into the prize with everybody.
Molly, there's a question in the bottom in the chats if you want to do that as well before we get started with Lorraine about will you use our song that wins for camp next year?
Hold on a second. I tried to unmute myself and it won't. I almost canceled the meeting. We can. I'll get the lyrics from the winners and I can add them to our camp songbook. So that's a songbook we use to teach our staff songs. And we'll put your name underneath the camp song, so it'll say whatever the title of the song is that you want to make it by your name.
Okay, excellent. All right, we're ready for you, Laladee.
Everybody ready?
Mommy, they're starting it. It's ready. No, I can't do it.
I muted her. I don't think we've got sound.
Laladee.
A little bit louder. Make it louder.
Start coming through.
Hear it a little bit. Pretty cool.
Come on.
And I don't know, Laladee, I don't know if you can hear us, but the sound is really low.
No. I don't know if she can see me. Laladee, can you hear me?
You're waving your hands. Oh, now she just thinks that we're dancing.
We can't hear you. I wonder what happened with the connection. Hold on, girls. We'll get her back up.
Okay.
Let's see.
Trying to pantomime.
You can hear it in the background. It was working earlier just fine.
Maybe if you make a sign and hold it up to the camera saying we can't.
Oh, good idea.
I need a piece of paper.
You
I've
grab
done that before.
Hold on, I have a nice black marker for it. No, I need a black marker. Where's the big one? Yeah, that one. All right. She'll look up. Maybe my writing's too messy, but there we go.
Is it weird? Really weird. He's a painter artist. He has a painter.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Vaguely.
Give me just a second.
Okay. Molly, do you want to sing us your the one that you rewrote until when Laladee, unless she's ready? You ready?
Leslie has some cool wrist things on.
Yeah, she's got it in her ponytail too. This one right here, Miss Leslie, she's got glow stick hair and glow stick bracelets.
My name's Tiger Lily.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, is that your mom's name on there? I know your name from Bronze or Silver Project.
Oh, it's probably bronze.
I liked because I remember Tiger Lily.
The Pretty Mean Pattern.
Yeah. Okay, almost.
A little bit louder.
Getting there. All right.
Here we go.
There's the party. Yeah, Molly, you look awesome dancing with your background. I wish I had a cool background. And Zoe too, she's getting her groove on, so she's got her.
Down, down, down in your heart, find the secret. Turn your head around, baby. We can do it all right. Do you believe in love at first sight? It's an illusion, I don't care. Do you believe I can make you feel better? Too much confusion, come on over here. Can we get together? I really wanna be with you. Come on, check it out with me. I hope you feel the same way too. Search my whole life to find the secret. All I did was open up my eyes, baby. We can do it all right. Do you believe that we can change the future? Do you believe I can make you feel better? Can we get together? I really wanna be with you. Come on, check it out with me. I hope you feel the same way too. Can we get together? I really wanna be with you. Come on, check it out with me. I hope you feel the same way too. Together,
Let's get this party started.
That's the one. Trying to get her attention.
Lily's little brother.
I think she looked. Here she comes. Okay. Let's see if we can get her back. There you go. Hold on, because I don't know if everybody else can hear her.
Laladee, you cut out.
Yeah. That our Laladee background again. There we go. Looks good. Yeah. The background.
That's what you're coming for. You don't want to let you be. You drop your back to the floor. You're asking what's happening. It's getting late now here. Enough of the arguments. She sips the Coca-Cola. She can't tell the difference yet. She can't tell the difference yet. She can't tell the difference yet. That's what you're coming for. Don't wanna let you be. Don't back to the floor. That's what's happening. It's getting late now here. Enough of the arguments. She sips the Coca-Cola. She can't tell the difference yet. That's what you're coming for. Don't wanna let you be. Drop your back to the floor. Asking what's happening. It's getting late now here. Enough of the arguments. She sips the Coca-Cola. She can't tell the difference yet. I've been for the night. She said for the night. She sees the big one. Talking about it tonight. See how she looks at Charlie. See how she dances. She sips the Coca-Cola. God bless our music. 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 God bless our music.
guys have a good time?
Yeah.
Woohoo!
Luann. 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 So I have they have right here like that.
Go ahead, Zoe, so we can hear you.
You remember that time, the way that you gave me those stickers? Well, look, I put it on my hydro flask.
Yeah.
Wait, she gave them to her? And I have more stickers from my neighbors. They gave me unicorn stickers.
Good to stay hydrated. We can't, I don't know if you can hear us, Laladee, but we can't hear you. Maybe
Let's
not on
see.
point.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Now we can hear you.
Yeah.
There we go. I'm so sorry that the audio wasn't that great. I apologize for that, but
That's
sometimes that's just how it goes.
happens.
Trying to do internet stuff.
We had fun.
Good. Could you hear somewhat?
Time?
Yeah, you guys had a good time?
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it was really exciting. Does anybody have any last questions for her? I've got to end this Zoom meeting in about 6 minutes because I've got something at 7:30, but is it a question related to her music or DJing, Zoe? Does anybody else have a last question?
There's some comments in there later too, Laladee, if you want to check them from people just saying that they loved it and they had a great time and so much
Great.
fun.
Sounds
So,
good.
Yeah.
All right.
All
Do
right,
you have any
guys.
parting words for us?
I don't know. I think maybe just encouraging you guys to not be afraid to actually tackle this assignment. Go ahead and just write, just do something. If you looked at the first song I ever wrote, it's laughable. And you know what? It was the first one, and there's always got to be a first if you're going to start something. So it's totally okay if you're not sure about it, just do it anyway, just to get the ball rolling if you really want to do, if you want to try songwriting. And I'm just going to tell you, it's not going to be Picasso right out the gate, okay? It's going to be, I don't even know who's cool now. But it's not going to be Taylor Swift, the first
There we
try.
go.
But Taylor Swift had a first song, and I guarantee you it wasn't that great, but she kept pushing. And so if this is your first song, just keep pushing.
And sometimes comedy is all right. It doesn't,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
I mean, it can be something.
Don't take yourself so seriously, okay? Sometimes you're a professional and you have sound problems, okay? Just don't take yourself too seriously.
We had fun.
Well, thank you everybody for coming out and joining us, and thank you, Laladee. Is there anything else that you want to add, Louisa?
No, I just want to thank Laladee. I think this was really fun. Everybody had a blast and learned something new and got to meet an amazing female entrepreneur in their community. So now you can also check out Laladee's website. You want to share that with us again, Laladee?
Sure, I'll go ahead and put it in the chat, but it's just Laladee Music. And you can even purchase some of these stickers that Zoe has. That's how she got it. Her mama was so sweet, and she went on my website. You can read my bio. You can listen to some of my songs I've produced. You can see some pictures and listen to some DJ sets and find everything you want to know about me.
Cool. All right.
Thanks for coming, girls.
Thanks, ladies. Everybody have a good night.
Thank you, Laladee.
You're welcome.
And I'll
Bye.
Okay, bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Out now.
Bye. I had fun.